Till now we've been looking at triangles that looked like this. And it was so nice because we had this angle, and I talked about the grid and how this would be, the y-axis, and this would be the x-axis, and this would be the opposite side, and everything looked nice. But they can give you a triangle where it's just turned around. So in this case, I'll just make a little degree there. So in this case, the triangle isn't like we used to see it. It's kind of turned the other way. But it's still a 90-degree triangle, and if I were to turn my board, I should actually be able to turn it all the way around so that it looks something like this. And that's the 21-degree angle, and that's that. But we don't have to do that, so it doesn't have to be in this kind of form. This is where it's really important for you to understand what the reference angle is and how to name your triangle. So this is a bit different to what we used to, but I still have an angle here. I still have a 90-degree angle. So the easiest one would be, okay, which is the longest side of this triangle? Well, the one that's opposite the 90-degree angle. So this would be the hypotenuse side. This is my reference angle, and I know the one opposite the reference angle would be the opposite side. And then here, the one that's touching my reference angle, which is obviously not the longest one, which would be the adjacent side. So now looking at this, if they wanted LM, they're telling me they want the adjacent side, but they're giving me the hypotenuse. So I know if I have a hypotenuse, it's going to either be the sine or the cosine, because both of those have an h in them. And I just have to choose which one it is, and because it's the adjacent, then it's going to be this one, because I have the hypotenuse, I have the angle, and then they're looking for A. And to write it in the right form, so that I don't have to rearrange too much, I can just write the adjacent side is equal to the hypotenuse side times, and this is the cosine of the angle. Again, don't have to write this, you have to write this. So adjacent, that would be that, so I can write LM is equal to hypotenuse, which is 15, and then cosine of 21 degrees. And I can just put that in my calculator, 15 cosine 21, and there you have it. Oh, what a nice number, 14.00376064. It's going to round lovely to 3 significant figures, so I can just want 1.03 significant figures. Okay, that was fairly easy. So the difficult part was just, oh, the triangle is in a different direction, etc. But it's still just name our triangle accordingly. So let's look at the next one, KL. Obviously we can use Pythagoras to work it out, and especially with nice numbers like 15 and 14. But let's just flex a bit. Let's do some trigonometry. That's why we're here. So KL would be my opposite side. So I know I want my opposite side, so I can actually start off with that. But I have hypotenuse and I have an angle. So which one of these is using the hypotenuse? Okay, so both of the sine and cosine. But because I want opposite, then obviously I'm going with the sine. And if I want opposite would be the sine times the hypotenuse, or the hypotenuse times the sine. So I'll just write this times the sine of the angle. The opposite is KL. Hypotenuse is 15, and then the sine of 21 degrees. So for this, I will just type in 15 sine 21, and we get 5.375519243. Again, I'm just kind of showing the marker. I know these numbers are important. 3 significant figures, so this would be the fourth one, has an influence there, would round that up, so this would be 3 significant figures. Okay. Let's just do the quick Pythagoras test. So, what did I do? Oh, let's just do 5.38 squared plus 14 squared. And if I got the square root of that, square root of the answer, I get 14.998. So the reason I'm getting 14.998 and not 15 exactly is because obviously I cut off all these numbers. If I didn't like just restart the calculator and used 5.38, if I used that big number, then I would get the 15 exactly. In the next video, we're going to look at something a bit more tricky, is when they give us two sides and they want the angle.